Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. When the Golden Bachelorette premiered, few contestants made as strong and polarizing an impression as Pascal Ibgui. At 70, he arrived on screen as a suave, articulate, and undeniably confident man, a self-described romantic realist with a magnetic presence. But beneath his charm lay sharp opinions that would go on to both captivate and alienate viewers. His surprising self-elimination on the fantasy suite date, coupled with biting post-show commentary, has since sparked conversations throughout Bachelor Nation. And now, as talk swirls about the Golden Bachelor Season 2, Pascal's name is back in the headlines, this time with a twist of irony. The man who shaded Golden Bachelor in Paradise still wants to be the face of the franchise. Pascal's journey on the Golden Bachelorette was never ordinary. From the moment he stepped out of the limo to meet Joan Vassos, the poised and radiant leading lady, Pascal seemed focused, even singular in his intent. "I'm not here to collect roses," he said early on, during a group date confession. "I'm here for Joan. If it's not her, it's no one." That level of commitment might have seemed romantic, but it proved brittle under the pressure of fantasy suites. On that pivotal night, rather than deepening his connection with Joan, Pascal made the startling decision to leave. "I realized I wasn't in love," he explained in a later interview. "And if I'm not in love, why go through the motions?" The exit left Joan visibly shaken and fans divided. Some praised his honesty, others called it selfish. But Pascal was unapologetic, and his candor quickly became a trademark. If Pascal's departure was dramatic, his post-show remarks were incendiary. In a widely shared interview on the I Do, Part 2 podcast, he dropped a string of comments that left fans and producers raising their eyebrows. Perhaps most notably, he called Joan's eventual fiancé, Chalk Chapel, a bit of a stalker, a comment that drew swift criticism before Pascal walked it back. "I got caught up in the moment," he later admitted. "It was a poor choice of words. I respect Joan and her choices. Chalk seems like a good guy." But that didn't stop him from taking aim at Golden Bachelor in Paradise, the latest spin-off set to appear as a special edition of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10. "It's not for me," he said bluntly. "I don't see myself on the beach with a bunch of old citizens, which I am, by the way." The comment struck a nerve. To some, it was an honest, if inelegant, critique of a format Pascal never connected with. To others, it felt ageist and dismissive of the very community the Golden shows were created to celebrate. Still, Pascal insisted that he didn't mean to offend. "I'm not criticizing anyone," he said. "It's just not aligned with who I am. I lead a great life, I don't need to be on TV to find meaning." Despite dismissing Paradise, Pascal has made it clear he would entertain the idea of leading the Golden Bachelor, but on his own terms. "If they offered it to me, that's a different thing," he said. "That show is more in line with who I am as a person." But then came the caveat: he would want the age limit lowered. "I'm looking for someone between 55 and 65, Pascal said. "I want someone youthful in spirit. I'm active, I travel, I run a business. I need a partner who keeps up with that." The remark ignited debate across social media and within Bachelor Nation. Jerry Turner's original Golden Bachelor season had prided itself on showcasing women well into their 60s and 70s, with a warmth, wisdom, and sense of romance that inspired millions. To many, Pascal's preference felt like a betrayal of that ethos. "The whole point was to challenge stereotypes about aging," tweeted one fan. "Not reinforce them." Still, others appreciated his clarity. "He knows what he wants," said one Reddit commenter. "Isn't that the whole point of dating?" Pascal's sharp tongue and unfiltered honesty have made him one of the most divisive figures in recent franchise history. While some praise him as a breath of fresh air, a man unafraid to buck the show's polished narratives, others see him as the embodiment of everything the Golden spin-offs tried to move beyond: ego, vanity, and conditional affection. But it's hard to argue with Pascal's magnetism. Off camera, he's successful, cultured, and confident. Fluent in multiple languages and a devoted father, he entered the show not for exposure, he claims, but because his daughter believed he deserved a second shot at love. "She signed me up," Pascal revealed. "And I did it for Joan. If it wasn't her, I wouldn't have gone." Even now, his ambivalence about reality TV remains. "I don't need the glory. I don't need the spotlight," he said. "But if they offered me the lead, that's worth thinking about." Producers of the Golden franchise are reportedly considering multiple options for the Golden Bachelor Season 2. Pascal, for all his controversies, brings a compelling backstory, a strong screen presence, and a ready-made narrative arc. But his comments, particularly about age and fellow contestants, may prove disqualifying. "The show has to protect its brand," said a former Bachelor producer anonymously. "Casting someone who called the cast a bunch of old citizens is risky. No matter how charming he is." Even Pascal seems unsure of his standing. "I don't expect the call," he said. "But I wouldn't hang up if it came." A reality star without the reality show? Whether or not he returns to the Bachelor universe, Pascal's time in the spotlight may not be over. There's talk of a possible docuseries or streaming project following his real-world search for love, a more grounded, unfiltered look at modern romance after 70. "That could work," mused one industry executive. "He's polarizing, but people watch him. He's got that it factor, even if that it sometimes gets him in trouble." As the franchise expands, adapting to an older generation with grace and humor, it will need to navigate personalities like Pascal's, bold, complicated, and unwilling to play nice for the camera. Whether he ever becomes the Golden Bachelor remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: Pascal Ibgui has already changed the conversation. He may not have found love on the Golden Bachelorette, but he did something almost rarer in reality TV: he stayed completely, often uncomfortably, true to himself. But if we're being honest, if we're looking at the patterns, the casting history, and Mel's background, the odds aren't good. I predict that Mel will make it to the final episode, possibly even propose, and then quietly fade from the headlines when the relationship fizzles post-show. Maybe they'll last a few weeks, maybe a few months. But long-term love? I just don't see it. In the meantime, I'll be watching. I'll critique the dates, the fashion, the forced hot tub conversations, and yes, the rose ceremonies. I'll root for the women, because let's face it, they're the heart of this franchise. And maybe, just maybe, Mel will prove me wrong. But until then, I remain skeptical. Not because I don't believe in love, but because I've seen what this show does to people who walk in unprepared. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.